Group calling itself Concerned Ghanaians for Responsible Governance earlier this morning picketed at the A4 Sutherland Park here in Accra after police refused Monday to allow them to do so at the Flagstaff House. The group says the protest is to draw government's attention. And leadership of the group were then escorted by police to present the petition to the president. They have arrived at the presidency. In a bit, they should meet the president. Emmanuel has been with us since the protest started, and he's joined us again live from the Flagstaff House. Hello, Emmanuel.
Hello, Kemini.
Right. And so what are we hearing? Is the president available to receive this or not?
Well, that's the information I am getting, but as to whether it is, because it is somebody who, a part of the group who is saying that, but as to whether he is present there, that we are not sure. We don't know about it. So probably in a few minutes, we might know whether he's around or not, Kemini.
I see. Let's go through the petition again as we make our way to meet the president. Tell us about this petition. We heard also that some signatures were being collected. How many of them have you seen so far?
Come again, Kamini.
I'm asking that we talk about the petition that the group is to present to the president.
Yeah, Kamini. Yeah. With the petition, with what I'm holding right now, the signatories that is on the president is the names, those names that have been allowed or have been permitted to go to the presidency. Those are the only signatories I'm seeing around. But as to whether they have a number of people that they are supposed to sign it before they get there, that I am not sure. We have about, and now I am seeing some signatories. About how many of them? We have, and our let's what we are presenting. Yeah, we have. If you're taking the shot, you can see the names and the signatories that have signed on this particular petition. Kamini, are you seeing it right now?
See it live on our screens at the moment. Quite a number. How many of them are we looking at?
I think they are almost numbering about a lot of them. They are. I'm told it's over 150 signatures, and I'm told there are online people who have also signed on to this particular petition. So they are a lot, and they are saying that by the end of the day, they might reach the 1,000 mark of the signatories who are associating themselves with this particular petition community.
I see. At the end of the day, I realize you're with Nana Kwesi. At the end of the day, if the president is not available at the Flagstaff House, what will be the next move for Nana Kwesi and his group?
Well, I have them here with me, and so let me talk to him. Let me try and talk to him and see if we can get the response. Nana Kwesi, what if we go to the presidency and the president is not there? What next then?
In fact, we have already spoken to the deputy chief of staff who is waiting to receive the petition. So that is why we are heading there to present.
Okay, so then it means that the president is not around.
I am not in a position to tell whether the president is around or not.
Okay. But Nana, how do you feel about? How does Nana feel about the fact that on Republic Day the president is unavailable to receive this petition you may call all important?
Well, okay, he's saying that we should be talking after they have presented their petition. But let me ask him this final question. How do you feel about the president? If the president is not, it's a Republic Day, and the president is not there to receive your petition, how do you feel about it?
We feel that so long as the petition is being received and so long as it will get to him, we are okay.
Okay, so Kamini, you heard it from the horse's own mouth.
I see.
They are saying that so long as the petition gets to the presidency, and now that the chief of staff is the one going to receive it, they are sure that it is going to get to the presidency. And so that's what they believe in, Kamini.
I see. Are we any closer to the president's seat at the moment?
Well, we are almost close. We are close to the last checkpoint that we will pass that hurdle and then enter into the Flagstaff House itself. So within the next 2 minutes or so, we should be in the Flagstaff House, Committee. We've been working for a whole day, half of the day. As I'm speaking to you now, I am very, very wet. From head to toe, my attire, my shoe is even filled with water as I'm working right now. So we are working, and very, very soon we will get to the presidency. I have sight of it, and hopefully we'll be there in the next a minute and a half or so. And so we will be getting there.
Absolutely, and we will also get back to you for some more live feed and updates on what's Chief of Staff Prosper Bani says upon receiving this petition. But earlier, we spoke to a number of persons who took part in the picketing at the A4 Sutherland Park, and here's a playback.
Why are you here?
I am here on a number of reasons.
And I'm here today on my own accord.
Nobody forced you here.
Nobody forced me here. The reason I'm here, when I left today, my mother said to me, they'll throw tear gas on you, oh. And I said to her, Mommy, I have to do this.
For Ghana.
There's a reason why we are here today. There's a reason why we've congregated today. Our government has not got their priorities right.
Yes.
They have not gotten their priorities right.
Yes.
They have broken laws that they set themselves. $10,000, they said. You can't take more than $10,000 out of this country. They took $3 million out of our country. You know why? Do you know why they thought they could get away with it? Because as Ghanaians, we forget too easily. We forget too easily. And our president has said Ghanaians have a short memory. We are here today to show him, say, we have not forgotten, and we will not forget. This is only the beginning. Cha-boy! 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 Bring it now. Yes. Cha-boy! Cha-boy! Yeah, Barack! We are tired. They claim they took $3 million. Yes. I don't even believe it's $3 million. Was money laundered into that so-called jets that took that $3 million? God knows how much of our money has been sent out of the country. We are tired. Last week, for the first time, I thought we were in 79, 80, 81, 82, 83. Very soon, we will not have anywhere to buy sugar. We will not have anywhere to buy milk. Our children can't even eat common gari. Hey, ya bro, ya bread, ya bread. Girls and boys singing our bread. No lights, no fuel, no water. You don't pay. Your own checks are bouncing. Hey, Ghana, we take 10 steps forward, 100 steps backwards. $3 million. People's fathers were killed for less than that amount, and we can take $3 million. God help us all.
We are all aware of how difficult things are, and I presume that for all of us, a government should be able to mitigate these issues. It seems to be getting worse. Our currency has been down some 30% this year. The deficits are terrible. And the cost of living is a big problem. So for all of us is to use this constitutional right to demonstrate, to let government know that this is impacting all of us, and we need to do something about it. And I think this is a very civil way to do that. I think Ghanaians, we've not been too good about civil activism in a positive way, and hopefully meetings, demonstrations like this will begin to make us appreciate that we should use this vehicle to also, in addition to what Parliament is doing, to ensure that governance is done in a way that progresses the lives of all of us.
Would you say that this will yield the positive results that we are looking for?
Oh, very much so. You know, I was watching the civil rights movement in America, and it always starts in a small way, where awareness is built, citizens begin to appreciate that they should get involved, and soon you have a groundswell that then leads to government sitting up. I think amongst all of these things is the economy that we are talking about, and I'm like, well, this is a great thing to do, you know. I didn't know any of the names, and that really was an empowering thing, that normal citizens are concerned about the issues, not in a partisan way, but in a way that says that, you know, it affects all of us, and government should not take us for granted. So by all means, for political points, people will try to ascribe it to a certain political regime, but I suspect that whether you are NDC or NPP, the 30% depreciation of the currency affects you. The value of...
Now we can go back to the Flagstaff House. Emmanuel has joined us from the... Hello, Emmanuel.
Hello, Kamini.
Tell us what's going on.
Yeah, Kamini, we seem to have a challenge entering into the presidency, because we are told that it's only one media house that is going to be allowed in to take the shot for every media house here, and so we are being prevented from entering. So the problem is we might not be allowed to take the shots, or we might not be allowed to go in there to take shots of what is happening, or the presentation of the petition. We are trying our best to make sure to negotiate so that we will also be alive. We will also be live in there, because we are taking live shots and we are convincing them to allow us in. So, Kamini, this is what is happening. We are at the entrance of the Flagstaff House right now, and we are not being allowed in. You can see a lot of police personnel around. We are not being allowed to enter into it. They have called one of the media men just to go and talk or negotiate. We hope that this negotiation will come into kitchen. Probably a compromise will be arrived, and then we get the shots there. So, but at the moment we are at the gate, and we are not being allowed in, and we are standing here.
I see. We'll leave you to it as you negotiate for entry into the Flagstaff House. We'll come back to you in a bit. You're watching News Today. I'll be right back. And then you're still watching News Today. Now let's get into some business stories. The Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana said any attempt by the government to scrap subsidies on fertilizer will be disastrous for the agricultural sector. This, they say, will further worsen the economic condition of the country, since more money will be spent on the importation of food. In a press statement, the association expressed fear at government's silence on releasing subsidies for 2014-2015 farming season after they were promised the subsidies will continue. The agri sector plays a key role in the overall economic growth and development of Ghana and employs up to 50.6%, that is 4.2 million of the country's population. In 2008, the fertilizer subsidy program was established to help farmers increase their rate of fertilizer application as a means of increasing crop productivity, as well as increase the country's fertilizer application. During the 2013 farming season, farmers were made to bear the international cost and local transportation cost of the delivery of fertilizers, while government subsidized the fertilizer by over 21%. Well, now, the Importers and Exporters Association are unhappy about an ongoing auction of the containers at the Tema port. Speaking to Joy News, the Executive Secretary of the association, Samson Asaki Awingobit, said the auction, which started on the 23rd of last month and was supposed to have been completed by the 25th of June, is still ongoing, without any regard to the owners who have made efforts to settle their debts at the Ports and Harbours Authority.
first and foremost, you have spent money by giving your supplier. That is the continuous business people that I'm talking about. You have spent money giving your supplier has supplied you the cargo, your cargo has arrived in the country. Now, as the importer, you're supposed to go through certain documentation before you can go ahead to clear the cargo. Now, the documentation alone can take sometimes more than even 20 days or 21 days before one can get the process done and go and pay the duty, the necessary duty, before you can clear. Now, there's just this law that a frozen food importer, after 21 days, if your cargo is not cleared, they will move it to uncleared cargo list, that is under Government of Ghana custody. Now, it goes to the custom-bonded warehouses. Now, at this place, the importer is supposed to make sure that 2 weeks, if Government of Ghana wants to auction the goods, they will have to do what we call, they will advertise it publicly. And after 2 weeks, it's being gazetted. Now, when it's being gazetted, then they can go, Government of Ghana can go ahead to do the auctioning. Now, but the 23rd, 25th auction that was done, information reaching my office, and you know, I sit for the Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana. It's reaching my office that some of them have even paid their duty, and others are even in the process of paying their duty. Now, I don't even want to talk of some of them have even paid their duty, but those who are even in the process to go and pay their duty. So, for instance, I know if government come to react to the news, they will say that they didn't nobody pay duty, but the people are processing documentation to go and pay the duty. Now, compare yourself or ask yourself, those are the auction, how much did they accrue as compared to the person if the person had come to pay the rightful duty? Look, let us be serious here. We don't want it to look like all the time the importers are complaining, but we want someone to sit somewhere like the chief of staff and look what some of the issues you are putting across. Would it help the state or it don't help the state? But if your goods is being confiscated after the certain period of days that you're supposed to clear and you did not clear, it does not mean that they should go ahead to auction it. I'm saying they're supposed to advertise. Even the person is supposed to be officially informed that your goods has been confiscated. But it will take for 2 weeks. The advert goes on. If you're unable to come and pay, then automatically it's gazetted, then they go ahead to auction it. That has not been done. Now, even if you are auctioning, if the person to come and pay duty of 40,000 Ghana cedis, and you auction it to 10,000 or 7,000 to someone, to go and make the rest of the money to himself, did we lose is the country losing or is the country gaining? But you know what? The one who's doing the auctioning knew very well that this container, if they bring it out and sell, you can get money up to 600,000, 60,000, or 70,000 or 80,000 from the container. But they've auctioned to you because they know whom they're auctioned to, of 7,000 to come to government cash. Then you go behind and collect because you know there's rightful money from the person because you have just considered the person. And you think it's cheat. One, you think the person didn't come to clear, so you want to sell it so that the money will come to government cash. Why don't you sell it at the rightful cost?
The Ghana Revenue Authority has put on hold plans to introduce the value-added tax on financial services from July 1, 2014. It would have seen banks and other financial institutions charge 17.5% tax on some services rendered to the public. Mama Viuzo Abuaje spoke with Ni Ayite, Deputy Commissioner for Policy and Programs, Domestic Tax Revenue Division as the Ghana Revenue Authority on the AM show. Here's the playback.
After talk. So does it mean that the GRA perhaps didn't do their homework well? You didn't do enough education before you started rolling it out?
What is homework? Homework is several. The issue is in implementing a tax, as has always been. There is a lot of considerations that are put in it. And like the statement they say, there has been that evaluation of the situation as far as public education is concerned, and then more critically as far as the technical changes that need to be made by the main implementers, to ensure that you really apply their systems as far as is possible for the collection of the taxes. And then also consultations with, like I say, all relevant stakeholders. That's what the statement say. And I'm saying that to the extent that it is a law that is still in force, it is not repealed. The question is, it would come back when the time is appropriate and to be properly communicated to the public. That's right.
Except that we don't know when.
You won't know when it is because these are consultations that are made, so that I won't sit here and say this date or that date. It will be made public, just as this type of postponement has been made public.
Meanwhile, development economist Dr. Eric Osei-Sibe is asking government to be consistent and coherent in implementing its economic policies. He is also calling on government to be pragmatic and research into the policies they intend to implement to save the economy from stagnating. He spoke to Joy News after government announced the suspension of the new 17.5% VAT on financial services.
Ex-policy advisor to government, Dr. Edward Labisian, confirmed the suspension to Joy News via telephone but declined to explain the reasons behind the move. For development economist Dr. Osei-Sibe, government could lose its credibility.
It doesn't make the governance serious. You know, the governance shouldn't be like a wind. You know, blowing cotton, and it blows it in any direction that, you know, the wind, you know, directs. We have to be more serious with macroeconomic management. You know, this is not new. Just recently they came out with this windfall tax to the mining sector, which some people think,
a lot of concerns.
Yeah, for concerns, they started raising. The government, it even took it to the parliament, but in no time they said we have withdrew it. Before you come out with policies, you should have sat down with all stakeholders, you know, provide evidence that this is what is likely to be the case. We have evidence to show that when we impose this tax, this is what the effects, this is how we're going to go, this is the effect on the larger macroeconomy and the effect on your business. There's clear evidence. Unlike you wasting all the time, you know, going to meetings, paying per diems and all workshop, only for you to come out and in no time withdrawing. I don't think it's good. It presents a good image for the country.
He emphasized the need for government to whip up the confidence of investors following Ghana's downgrade by Moody's Investor Services.
Once you are downgraded, then it means that your risk profile is high. There's high down risks, you know, downside risk to the economy, and that will, you know, it doesn't make the country an attractive destination for investors.
Consistent.
It's been consistent, and yes, so one would have expected that now things should begin to see in a positive, you know, direction, but it doesn't seem so. So I think something is missing somewhere. I have always maintained that we always seem to have what I call knee-jerk policies. You know, instead of sitting back, you know, being much more objective, embarking on research, you know, evidence-based to say that this and that actually went wrong, and therefore going forward we want to move in this direction. Okay, once we begin to do that, then the investor community, the development partners and everyone will know that yes, you have been able to diagnose the problem. Definitely there's hope if we persevere, if the government become a bit more serious as it has been now, and engage people, you know, experts, and be more pragmatic, not just lip service, paying lip service and say that we are doing that and we are doing that, but we don't see.
When I look again at our top story, a group calling itself Concerned Ghanaians Responsible for Responsible Governance has presented petition to Chief of Staff Prosper Bani after picketing earlier at the Afua Sutherland Park in Accra. Well, there'll be more on the petition presented at the Flagstaff House in subsequent broadcasts. In the meantime, find more news on myjoyonline.com. I'm grateful for your company. My name is Kemini Nyamani. I'm gonna have a happy Republic Day if you're in Ghana. Goodbye.